7 levels of incredible superheroes explained.
Level 1. Dookie.
You're doo-doo butter.
This level consists of heroes that are just bad, all around low stats, but even worse, they have low invulnerability. In most universes, superheroes have high durability and some have almost infinite invulnerability, surviving blasts and taking hits from heavy hitters. But when going through the Incredibles NSA files, it was very evident that not all of the heroes in this universe has invulnerability, even if they are strong, which is kinda dumb in my opinion. With that being said, you'd think there are more heroes in this level because they are also but what some lack in durability and invulnerability, they make up for in intelligence, strength, and abilities. So, the only hero in this level is Phalange, or is it Phalange? I don't know why I said that in a French accent. His ability is Sonic... am I reading this right? Sonic Field Voice Projection. Basically, he can project his voice using sonic waves. Not very useful in my opinion, unless you're trying to broadcast to a group of people that they should leave a burning building in an orderly fashion. Along with all that, Bro managed to have inverse maxed his stats, averaging 25% or lower on all his stats, except indestructibility, which is still low because he was able to get one shot by an Omnidroid, giving him a 4.2 threat level. Wait, 4.2? 2 was in
Level 2. The Worthless.
The Worthless, or formerly known as the Worthless, is a bunch of heroes that have very situational and very niche superpowers. Essentially worthless unless they're in a very specific scenario, but they still have a good use for their powers in said situation. Stormicide is a prime example of this level. She essentially works like a sponge, except she can only absorb vapors such as oxygen that essentially makes her a walk-in fire extinguisher. She can also emit the vapors, which gives her the ability of flight, but that's pretty much it. There was also this guy in the Incredibles 2 called Cliffhanger. Super cool name, but his powers were agility and the grappling gun.
Oh, brother!
I'd also put Reflux in this level as well, having the ability to barf molten lava, which can be more harm than good considering that he also has motion sickness. Not to mention, this guy is one cough away from meeting the Grim Reaper himself. He's old, fragile, and while his powers are destructive, they aren't really useful considering how they work and the person using them. The next level, however, is stuck between a rock and a hard place.
Level 3. Limbo Dweller.
These heroes are heroes that have the most raw potential in the show, but because of an unfavorable trade-off, they are not as great as superheroes as they should be. They have high strength, high durability, and an even better power type, but they're either absolute dunderheads or they have a peeve that affects their effectiveness in battle. A lot of the new supers are in this tier, but the ones from the Golden Age that stand out are Downburst. He basically has the ability to reshape atoms. He's like this universe's version of Atom Eve, but he can barely control his abilities or understand how his powers truly work.
To reshape matter, say you have a cut or a boo-boo on your arm, I can, I can probably do something about that. I'm not exactly a band-aid. I'm a little bit better than that. I'll actually heal it.
Then a guy who had atom-based powers is also in this level. He could disrupt the atoms of any living thing and disintegrate matter. He also had ion repulsors that gave him the ability to fly. However, he was reckless and died in action due to a suit malfunction. Brick, Electrix, and Crusher would also go in this level from the New Age. Their abilities are almost unstoppable, with Brick being strong enough to incapacitate and hold down Mr. Incredible, but her size makes her slow and easy to immobilize. Electrics have electric and electromagnetic powers. He could be on par with Static Shock, but is too consumed by his looks to do anything useful with his abilities. And Crusher suffers from the same problem of being a classic brawn with no brains, making his telekinesis an absolute waste. A common denominator between the Limbo Dwellers is their inability to use their full potential, or they would be much higher on the list. However, the Utilizers are the complete opposite.
Level 4. Utilizers.
Now, to make myself absolutely clear, because these heroes are at level 4 does not mean they're bad heroes. This level consists of intelligent heroes who thrive in tactical support. They're usually heroes who have good abilities, high intelligence, but are low on strength, endurance, and durability. Heroes like Void is a perfect depiction of what this level represents. Void has one of the most broken abilities in the show with her portal creation, which gives her the advantage in almost any situation. But when it comes to helping others in the field, her powers thrive even more because she can easily redirect attacks, block attacks, and offer quick transportation. So with Void supporting other heroes in the field, their success is almost guaranteed. Apogee would also fit within this level as well. She has the ability of gravity manipulation, which basically would give her a type of telekinesis. It's not stated if her power has any range, but her powers are deeply connected to solar energy, and in nights, her abilities are practically useless. She is very smart, and her gravity powers in the field could offer support to the less agile heroes that would help change the course of the battle. I would put Psych Wave in this level as well, an overpowered telepath who has the ability to possess another person's body and also to mentally suggest or push a person to do her will. It's a good thing she's not a freak or anything, right?
Really used it to harm people, except for all those girls I made the guys break up with because I wanted to date them. Kind of freaky, actually.
Unfortunately, using her powers to possess another person's body leave her vulnerable, so she has to be very selective with where she uses that power. Everseer would also go in this level too. If only his strength and invulnerability was higher, he'd easily be a level 5 or 6 hero. But with those stats being as low as they are, he's stuck being here. Having the ability to see in the future and also telepathy really sets him apart. But with only those thriving abilities, his efforts would be a lot more efficient among a team settings. But with this level having so many flaws, it sets them far apart from
Level 5. Masters.
I call this level the Masters because they are the masters of any situation they're placed in. With absolute control over their abilities, these heroes can thrive in almost any battle or surprise situation they find themselves in. Elastigirl is the best example of this. She is very well rounded and flexible, and I'm totally not biased because when I was a kid, that one JoJo song described my feelings for her perfectly. Helen has proven herself numerous times to be a force to be reckoned with, infiltrating Syndrome's island while saving her kids just to save her husband Bob, while also taking on Screensaver in Incredibles 2. She's not incredibly strong, but I'm pretty sure we can all agree that we don't mind having Mrs. Incredible so high. I'd also put Violet in this level. Now you might be thinking she deserves to be higher, but Violet's strength and durability is that of a regular person, so the only thing bringing her is her hacks abilities and intelligence. I even considered putting her in level 4, but she's a little bit too OP to belong in that tier, and I believe with time and experience she'll make full use of her abilities. Other heroes I'd put in this level is Plasma Bolt, who has electromagnetic abilities, Macroburst, who has wind powers and was able to take down an Omnidroid by himself, and Geyser Beam, who's basically the Cyclops of this universe. The common denominator with all these superheroes are high intelligence and insane agility. Their power type isn't the best, but they make the best use of it. If only they were stronger, they'd easily be
Level 6. Hands.
This level is called hands because the only dish they serve is pure hands. When they take down villains, you better avoid the stands. They pound on villains like girls on OnlyFans. I get it. This level consists of heroes that are considered to be the strongest. They have balanced stats and very good abilities, making them a combination of strength, intelligence, and broken abilities. Mr. Incredible is the best example of this tier. Officially listed as the strongest super to exist with a 9.2 threat level rating, he was able to destroy Syndrome's Omnidroid by himself, and he also shows numerous feats of unmatched strength and resilience throughout the shows. Not to mention his training with Nimblejack in the comics made him even more agile. Other heroes I'd put on this level is Frozone, who has ice generation powers. He does this by utilizing the moisture in the air. Frozone served as support to Mr. Incredible numerous times while taking down his own villains. But a notable feat of his strength is during the Incredibles 2, when Frozone was able to hold off and almost escape a bunch of mind control supers all by himself while protecting Jack-Jack, Violent, and Dash. This shows how skilled and resourceful he is, setting him apart from almost any other super on the previous list. Dash also dominates this level with his ability to move at mind-blowing speeds. Not only was Dash able to move fast enough to stay undetected by a security camera, he was able to run on water and take down Syndrome's soldier. It also seems as if Dash has super strength and super durability, considering that this 10-year-old kid was able to knock out a grown man. Universal Man seems like he would be among the greats as well, but he did get bodied by the first prototype of the Omnidroid, regardless of him having the ability to shift his density to the point where he can become a black hole. He's also on the same level of invulnerability as Mr. Incredible, but his intelligence is pretty low, which might be the reason why he died so easily to the first version of the Omnidroid. With all that being said, these heroes might seem like the pinnacle of superhuman potential, which is where you're wrong.
Level 7. Jack Jack.
Is the pinnacle. Jack Jack gets a level for himself because he possesses abilities unknown to man. Being the first super with the ability to shift between power types, we've seen Jack Jack perform a plethora of abilities such as teleportation, duplication, fire powers, laser powers, and a monster form. That's just scratching the surface. All at a young age of 1, Jack Jack's potential is unfathomable, and he stands at the pinnacle of all super-abled individuals. He might even be the strongest in all fiction, even more powerful than Marvel's Cassandra Nova, even though they completely butchered her in the show. But click this video here to find out more about her.